John and Zara's partnership continued to grow stronger, bringing stability and success to their shared projects. Their combined leadership inspired confidence among their teams, and the organization flourished, bridging gaps between humans and Zara's people with impressive achievements. Despite their success, Zara and John never let their guard down entirely. They remained cautious, aware that threats could arise unexpectedly. They regularly reviewed security measures, ensuring constant preparedness. That one bright afternoon, Zara received an urgent message from her home planet. Leaders requested her immediate presence for critical discussions. The message explained concerns over new policies potentially impacting their alliance with Earth. Zara shared the news quietly with John, worry evident in her expression. "I must go back briefly. My leaders need reassurance that our cooperation remains beneficial." John understood clearly. "I'll handle things here. You've prepared me well." Grateful, Zara smiled warmly. "I trust you completely, John. I'll return." Quickly, Zara's departure left John temporarily overseeing all operations. Initially nervous, he quickly embraced the responsibility, communicating openly with teams and managing daily tasks effectively. One afternoon, during Zara's absence, John received surprising visitors. Officials from a major global organization arrived unannounced, requesting a meeting. John welcomed them politely yet cautiously. The officials presented an unexpected proposal. "We admire your technology greatly," one representative explained smoothly. "We'd like exclusive control over certain innovations." John listened carefully, sensing hidden intentions. He replied politely, "Our mission promotes cooperation openly. Exclusivity contradicts our values." The officials pressed further, offering substantial financial incentives. John remained firm yet respectful. "Integrity matters more than profit. Our technologies benefit all humanity, not just a privileged few." Disappointed, the officials departed, leaving thinly veiled threats. John immediately increased security, concerned they might retaliate. He also informed Zara discreetly about the meeting. Days later, alarming issues arose suddenly. Systems experienced mysterious disruptions, slowing important projects. Employees reported feeling anxious and uncertain. Determined, John investigated, quickly discovering subtle signs of sabotage. He gathered security personnel discreetly, instructing vigilance carefully. Late one evening, security cameras captured suspicious movements near critical systems. John personally accompanied security teams, confronting intruders efficiently. After a brief struggle, intruders were apprehended. John questioned them firmly, discovering connections clearly linking back to the global organization he previously refused. Authorities were informed immediately, and evidence was provided clearly, ensuring justice. Zara returned soon afterward, deeply impressed by John's leadership during her absence. She praised him sincerely, grateful he had protected their vision steadfastly. "Your courage and dedication impressed me greatly," Zara said softly, proud and thankful. "I only followed your example," John replied humbly, relieved to have Zara back. Zara's reassurance stabilized the facility, and morale improved again steadily. Employees recognized clearly how effectively John managed crises, enhancing their respect deeply. Their partnership became stronger, further inspiring confidence among teams. Workers felt secure, clearly trusting their combined leadership and integrity. As operations resumed smoothly, Zara and John focused again on innovative projects beneficial to both worlds. They successfully introduced groundbreaking medical technology, significantly improving healthcare globally. Public appreciation for Zara and John's efforts increased greatly, recognizing their genuine intentions clearly. News reports praised their positive impact extensively, strengthening support worldwide. However, amidst success, a new challenge emerged unexpectedly. Zara's home planet leaders demanded stricter regulations, expressing concern over recent sabotage attempts, and seeking tighter control. Zara met with John privately, visibly distressed. "My leaders worry our technologies risk misuse. They consider restricting cooperation severely. John frowned thoughtfully. We must demonstrate our safeguards clearly. Trust requires transparency. Agreeing strongly, Zara and John prepared extensive documentation, clearly outlining security practices and ethical guidelines. They invited leaders from both worlds, presenting openly and honestly. During meetings, Zara spoke passionately yet calmly, clearly emphasizing cooperation benefits strongly, outweighing risks. John supported her confidently, providing detailed examples effectively. Leaders listened intently, visibly impressed by thoroughness and sincerity. Discussions continued carefully, gradually alleviating concerns significantly. After extensive deliberations, leaders agreed positively, acknowledging Zara and John's genuine commitment clearly. They decided cooperation could continue openly, provided ongoing transparency and regular evaluations. Relieved and grateful, Zara thanked John warmly afterward. Without your steady support, achieving agreement might have proven impossible. John smiled gently, feeling immense satisfaction. We succeeded together. Your vision inspired everyone. Their strength and partnership solidified cooperation further, ensuring long-term stability clearly. Employees celebrated happily, reassured about future security. Privately, Zara expressed deep appreciation for John's unwavering support. Your partnership means everything to me. Facing challenges together makes us stronger. John responded sincerely. Your strength and vision inspire me daily. I'm proud sharing this journey with you. They continued leading confidently, always vigilant, yet hopeful. Zara and John understood clearly that unity, honesty, and genuine collaboration formed their strongest defense. Overcoming challenges together deeply reinforced their bond, providing emotional strength powerfully. They regularly spent peaceful moments privately, appreciating quietly how fortunate they were as they walked gently beside the tranquil lake one evening. Zara spoke softly, clearly emotional. Our journey hasn't been easy, yet sharing it with you makes everything worthwhile. John smiled warmly, deeply moved. I wouldn't change a single moment. They paused quietly, watching stars sparkling brilliantly above. Their shared experiences, challenges, and triumphs bonded them profoundly, forming lasting trust and affection clearly visible to everyone around them. Standing together confidently, Zara and John knew whatever future challenges arose, they would overcome them strongly united. Their partnership, built firmly on mutual trust, respect, and deep affection, empowered them clearly, preparing them fully for anything ahead. After Eric's betrayal, John and Zara worked tirelessly to rebuild trust among their teams. The incident had shaken many employees, and restoring confidence became their top priority. John spent countless hours talking with workers, listening carefully to their concerns, and reassuring them about future safety. Zara also took decisive actions. She strengthened security measures and implemented transparent practices, making sure everyone clearly understood decisions made by leadership. Her calm and open approach began to ease lingering fears, slowly bringing harmony back to the facility. Despite the challenges, Zara and John found themselves growing closer. Working side by side through difficulties strengthened their bond deeply. Mutual respect turned gradually into something warmer, a genuine affection neither openly acknowledged yet both clearly felt. One clear evening, as they walked together near the peaceful lake they loved, Zara finally spoke about her feelings softly. John, I couldn't have done this without you. Your strength and compassion amaze me. John stopped, turning to face her fully. The gentle moonlight made Zara's eyes sparkle beautifully. You inspire me every day, Zara. I'm grateful you've allowed me into your life. She smiled warmly, reaching gently to touch his hand. Their fingers intertwined naturally, sharing warmth and comfort silently. It felt perfectly right. Needing no words. In the following days, their connection became clear to everyone around them. Workers noticed the subtle changes, small gestures of care, quiet exchanges of smiles, and meaningful glances. The entire facility felt more united. influenced positively by the growing partnership between Zara and John. However, peace never lasted long. One morning, alarming news spread quickly through the facility. Zara's key research center faced unexpected regulatory scrutiny. Authorities demanded extensive inspections, questioning the safety and ethics of their advanced technologies. Concerned, John quickly joined Zara in an urgent meeting. Zara explained calmly yet seriously, if these inspections find any issues, our entire operation could face severe restrictions. John frowned thoughtfully. Do you think Eric could be involved, even from a distance? Possibly, Zara admitted, her expression troubled. But we must handle this openly and transparently. Our integrity must never be in doubt. They immediately prepared for inspections carefully, cooperating fully with authorities. John coordinated closely with department heads, ensuring each detail met required standards perfectly. Zara handled official discussions, confidently presenting their work honestly. During inspections, John noticed one inspector seemed particularly harsh and suspicious. The inspector, named Carl, repeatedly questioned minor details intensely, clearly seeking problems. John's instincts warned him something was off. Privately, John shared his concerns with Zara. Carl's behavior feels unusually aggressive. Could someone be influencing him? Zara agreed seriously. We need to find out discreetly. John began quietly investigating Carl's background, discovering subtle connections between Carl and Eric's former associates. Though indirect, the links worried John deeply. He quickly informed Zara, and together they decided to act carefully, documenting everything clearly. The final inspection day arrived tense yet hopeful. Carl continued questioning harshly, scrutinizing small details unnecessarily. Zara remained composed and polite, answering clearly and patiently dotted the inspection's end. Carl announced sharply, I'll recommend further investigation. There are unresolved issues here. John calmly stepped forward, providing carefully documented evidence clearly disproving Carl's claims. Every detail you've questioned has clear answers, supported by thorough documentation. Carl hesitated briefly, visibly frustrated. He finally muttered reluctantly, Very well. Your evidence is convincing. The other inspectors nodded agreement, satisfied by the thoroughness shown. Carl's recommendations were overruled, allowing Zara's facility to continue operations smoothly. Afterward, Zara thanked John sincerely. Your diligence saved us today. John smiled warmly, relieved yet concerned. Carl's hostility wasn't normal. Someone's targeting us still. Zara nodded thoughtfully, determined. We must remain vigilant, but together we can overcome anything. Days later, they learned Carl resigned unexpectedly, confirming suspicions about outside influences. Though relieved, John and Zara recognized the continuing threats clearly, deciding to further strengthen security and communication practices. Their determination and honesty earned widespread respect, both within the facility and from external partners. Zara's reputation grew stronger, admired greatly for her unwavering integrity. John became increasingly respected as well, appreciated deeply for his supportive role beside Zara. Amid challenges, their personal relationship blossomed quietly, bringing joy to both. Quiet dinners, peaceful walks, and private conversations strengthened their emotional bond steadily. John found himself looking forward eagerly to every moment spent with Zara. One quiet evening, Zara gently confessed, John, you've made my life better in every way possible. Your support means everything to me. Moved deeply, John replied sincerely, You're my strength, Zara. Being here with you feels like the greatest honor of my life. They shared a gentle embrace beneath soft moonlight, feeling deeply grateful for finding each other. Their relationship, built on trust, respect, and love, became their strongest foundation, empowering them greatly in their mission. In the weeks following, stability returned steadily. Employees felt secure again, working diligently on Zara's visionary projects. The environment grew more positive, clearly influenced by Zara and John's leadership and genuine care. Yet, Zara remained cautious, aware threats could reemerge anytime. She often discussed future strategies with John carefully, determined always to protect their shared vision. Together, Zara and John continued striving passionately, their united strength ensuring success despite obstacles. Their relationship provided emotional comfort, empowering both profoundly. Standing side by side confidently, they looked forward clearly, prepared fully for whatever lay ahead. Their deep connection offered courage and hope, clearly visible to everyone around them, reinforcing strongly the belief that true unity and trust always prevailed. John quickly became even busier, deeply involved in Zara's important projects. Every day, he learned new things, solved problems, and found ways to help humans and aliens understand each other better. He enjoyed the work greatly, and Zara's constant support encouraged him to keep going. Yet, in the background, John couldn't ignore Eric Davis's suspicious behavior. Eric often watched him quietly, clearly unhappy about John's closeness with Zara. John tried not to let it bother him, focusing instead on his work. One afternoon, Zara invited John to visit one of their most critical facilities located far from their headquarters. They boarded a private jet, and soon they were flying high above the clouds. John looked out the window, fascinated by the view. "It's amazing how much we've achieved," John remarked quietly. "Indeed," Zara agreed, smiling gently. "But we still have much work ahead." Upon landing, they traveled by car to a large, heavily secured building. Zara explained that this place developed advanced technologies, especially those improving health and safety. They toured several laboratories, meeting scientists and viewing impressive inventions. However, John noticed something unusual. Several employees whispered anxiously, clearly troubled. When he asked Zara about it, she frowned slightly. "We've had issues lately," Zara admitted softly. "Small problems, equipment breaking unexpectedly, data errors. Nothing major yet, but it concerns me. Do you suspect sabotage?" John asked, concerned. "Possibly," Zara replied carefully. "But we must be sure before acting." John decided to investigate, quietly, hoping to protect Zara and her work. He spent the next few days observing and speaking to employees discreetly. Most seemed honest, dedicated to their tasks. But one evening, he overheard a hushed conversation near a storage room. John paused silently, hidden from sight, and listened carefully. He recognized one voice clearly. It was Eric. Eric spoke sharply to another man, giving specific instructions. "Ensure the next failure looks accidental," Eric said coldly. Zara must doubt John's competence. The other man replied nervously. "What if someone catches us? Be careful," Eric warned. "We need John out." Shocked, John stayed quiet until they left. He felt hurt and angry, understanding fully now Eric's resentment. Eric intended to frame him, damaging Zara's trust and forcing him out. Determined, John quickly informed Zara privately. Zara listened quietly, her expression deeply troubled. "I never thought Eric would do this," Zara whispered sadly. "He was one of my earliest supporters." "Jealousy can change people," John said gently, feeling compassion for her disappointment. "But we must stop him." Together, they planned a careful approach. Zara ordered increased security measures discreetly, hoping to catch Eric clearly. John continued working normally, careful not to alert Eric. One evening, alarms suddenly rang loudly throughout the facility. John rushed to investigate, finding chaos in the main laboratory. Valuable equipment sparked dangerously, smoke filling. The room acting quickly, John helped evacuate workers safely, instructing security teams efficiently. Amid confusion, John saw Eric quietly leaving through a side door, his face pale and tense. Determined not to lose him, John followed swiftly. Outside, Eric walked quickly toward a vehicle waiting nearby. John called firmly, "Eric, stop!" Eric froze, turning sharply. His expression hardened coldly. "John, you shouldn't be here." "Neither should you," John said firmly. Why do this, Eric? Zara trusted you. Eric's face twisted angrily. Until you appeared. Zara abandoned our partnership, giving everything to you. That's not true, John said steadily. Zara respects your contributions deeply. Words mean nothing, Eric spat bitterly. Actions prove intentions. Suddenly, Eric lunged, striking quickly. John dodged swiftly, defending himself instinctively. They struggled briefly, evenly matched, until security arrived. Restraining Eric efficiently. Zara appeared moments later, sadness clearly visible. Eric refused to meet her gaze, silent and defeated. Zara spoke softly but firmly. Eric, you've betrayed my trust. This path harms everyone, including yourself. Eric remained silent, shoulders slumped heavily. Security escorted him away, leaving John and Zara alone. I'm sorry, John said gently, understanding Zara's pain. I trusted him deeply, Zara whispered sadly. His betrayal hurts more than expected. John comforted her quietly, offering silent support. After a long moment, Zara straightened decisively. We must rebuild, ensuring trust remains strong. John nodded firmly, inspired by her strength. Together, they addressed the damage, reassuring workers and restarting quickly. The sabotage, though serious, had fortunately caused limited harm. Quickly repairable. Days later, the facility returned smoothly to operation. John and Zara strengthened security further, implementing clearer communication and tighter supervision. Despite Eric's actions, morale improved steadily. John's honesty and quick actions during the crisis earned deeper respect among workers, solidifying trust. Zara openly praised John's integrity, clearly demonstrating her support. Privately, Zara confessed her deep appreciation quietly. Without you, this would have been worse. Your courage protected many lives. John smiled gently, feeling humble yet proud. I only did what anyone would. You did more, Zara insisted softly. Your bravery strengthened us. They stood quietly together, appreciating the peaceful moment. Trust between them deepened profoundly, reinforcing their partnership strongly. Zara's faith in John grew unwavering, clearly demonstrated by actions and words. Together, Zara promised firmly, we'll overcome any challenge. John agreed wholeheartedly, inspired by her strength and compassion. Eric's betrayal, though painful, had ultimately reinforced their bond, clarifying their shared values clearly. Standing together confidently, Zara and John felt prepared completely for whatever future awaited them, their partnership stronger than ever before. The following weeks passed swiftly for John, filled with learning, work, and excitement. Each day brought new discoveries and deeper insights into Zara's impressive operation. He became familiar with many teams and projects, earning respect and trust along the way. Despite the busy schedule, John found himself enjoying the work immensely, especially because Zara was always there, guiding and supporting him. One morning, as John reviewed progress reports in his new office, Zara knocked softly on his open door. He looked up, smiling warmly. Morning, John greeted her cheerfully. Come in. Zara entered gracefully, her presence immediately brightening the room. Good morning, John. Are you ready for today's meeting? John nodded confidently, stacking his papers neatly. Absolutely. I feel prepared. Excellent, Zara replied, clearly pleased. This meeting is crucial. We're presenting new technology to several key investors. Their support is essential for expanding our projects. John stood, straightening his jacket. Let's go then. They walked together to the large conference room, already bustling with important guests and staff members. Eric Davis stood near the head of the table, speaking with two influential investors. He noticed John and Zara approaching, his expression briefly tightening before quickly smoothing into a polite smile. Good to see you both, Eric said smoothly, shaking hands formally with John and Zara. Everything is ready. Thank you, Eric, Zara replied graciously. Your hard work on this has been invaluable. The meeting began smoothly, with Zara presenting. the innovative technology they hope to develop. She spoke confidently, her voice calm and clear, capturing the attention of everyone in the room. John watched her admiringly, impressed by her poise and intelligence. When Zara finished, Eric stepped forward to provide detailed explanations. Though his delivery was polished, John sensed something unusual beneath Eric's calm exterior. Subtle hint of tension. John brushed the thought aside, assuming Eric was merely nervous about securing the investors' approval. When Eric concluded, Zara invited John to speak. John stood confidently, clearly, and simply explaining how their new technologies will greatly benefit both humans and Zara's people. His enthusiasm was genuine and contagious, visibly impressing the investors, who listened closely. After the meeting, Zara and John stayed behind briefly, discussing feedback with the investors. Eric lingered nearby, observing quietly as they left the conference room. Eric approached John. "Can we speak privately?" he asked coolly. "Of course," John agreed, curious but cautious. Eric led him to a quiet corner, his expression stern. "I want to be clear. I don't trust you." John remained calm, meeting Eric's gaze directly. "Why not? You appear from nowhere, and suddenly Zara trusts you deeply," Eric said, his voice sharp with suspicion. "You have too much influence already." John sighed, understanding Eric's worry. "I get your concern, Eric, but I'm here to help. Just like you, Zara's vision matters to me." Eric narrowed his eyes skeptically. "We'll see. Just remember, I'm watching you." Eric turned abruptly and walked away, leaving John alone and thoughtful. Shaking off the confrontation, John returned to his office, determined to continue working earnestly. He refused to let Eric's suspicion affect his dedication. Later, Zara entered John's office, noticing his quiet mood. "Is something bothering you?" John hesitated, then chose honesty. "Eric spoke to me earlier. He doesn't trust me." Zara frowned gently, concern clear in her eyes. "Eric has been protective of our mission. He means well, but I hoped he'd warm up to you by now." "I understand his caution," John admitted quietly, "but I wish he'd see that we're all on the same side." Zara placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Give it time. He'll see your sincerity eventually." John smiled softly, reassured by Zara's support. "Thanks, Zara." The following days were busy, filled with successful meetings and steady progress. John continued proving his worth, gradually earning more trust from Zara's entire team. Eric remained distant, yet John noticed no further confrontations. One evening, as John finished late paperwork, Zara knocked gently at his office door again. "Still working?" John stretched tiredly, smiling warmly. "Almost done." "Come with me," Zara said softly. "I want to show you something." Curious, John followed Zara outside, walking to a quiet spot overlooking a beautiful lake. The stars sparkled brilliantly in the clear night sky, reflecting peacefully on the water's surface. "It's beautiful," John whispered appreciatively, awed by the serene view. "I come here to think," Zara admitted gently. "Sometimes even I need a moment of peace." John nodded quietly, enjoying the calmness beside her. After a moment, Zara turned toward him, her eyes bright in the moonlight. "You've become very important to me, John," Zara said softly, her voice filled with genuine warmth. "I couldn't have come this far without you." John's heart skipped a beat, touched deeply by her words. "It means a lot hearing you say that." She smiled gently, looking away shyly. "I mean every word." They stood quietly, appreciating each other's company. Beneath the stars, John felt peaceful yet hopeful, grateful for everything unfolding between them. Despite challenges like Eric's suspicion, he believed deeply in Zara's vision and his place within it. "Zara," John said finally, breaking the silence gently. "Whatever happens, I'm glad you're here with me." Zara's eyes softened warmly, holding his gaze steadily. "So am I." Together, they watched quietly as the night deepened, the peaceful silence strengthening the growing bond between them. In the Stillness. John knew he had found something truly special, a meaningful purpose, and someone extraordinary to share it with. The next morning, John awoke early, feeling refreshed yet restless. Zara's sudden return had changed everything overnight, sparking excitement he hadn't felt in years. He dressed quickly, pulling on simple clothes suitable for farm work, yet his mind was already wandering far beyond his fields and animals. When he entered the kitchen, he found Zara already up, seated gracefully at the small dining table, reading through notes on a sleek, futuristic device. Her long hair shimmered in the morning sunlight, and her calm demeanor filled the simple room with quiet dignity. "Good morning," John greeted her warmly, slightly nervous yet pleased to see her again. "Good morning, John," Zara replied, looking up with a soft smile. "Did you sleep well?" "Better than I expected," John admitted. He moved around the kitchen, preparing coffee and breakfast. The familiar routine helped him relax, grounding him in reality. "I'm glad," Zara said, returning her focus to her device momentarily. "We have a busy day ahead." "Tell me more about what we're going to do," John said, placing plates and cups on the table. Zara set her device aside, folding her hands neatly in front of her. "Today, I'll introduce you to my closest advisors and show you some of the work we've been doing here on Earth. It's important you understand our operations fully before taking on your new role." "My new role," John echoed softly, trying to grasp the reality of it. "Yes," Zara affirmed gently. "You'll be working directly with me, bridging human understanding with our technologies and resources. It's a vital position." John nodded slowly, absorbing her words. "I'm honored that you trust me enough for this." Zara's eyes softened warmly. "You saved my life, John. I trust you completely." After breakfast, Zara led John outside to the sleek car parked at the front. John felt slightly out of place climbing into the luxurious vehicle, yet Zara's calm presence reassured him. They traveled smoothly and quietly through the countryside, soon arriving at a large, modern facility hidden within dense woods. The building was impressive, combining elements of human architecture and advanced alien technology. Inside, everything was bright and clean, bustling with people working diligently. Zara led John through wide corridors, explaining different projects and their purposes as they walked. "Our goal," Zara explained clearly, "is to create harmony and cooperation between our people and humanity. We've developed technologies beneficial for both worlds, sharing knowledge and ensuring mutual respect." John listened intently, amazed at everything he saw. Rooms filled with advanced robotics, labs developing sustainable energy, and teams designing medical innovations unlike anything he'd ever imagined. It was overwhelming yet thrilling. In one room, they met Zara's closest advisors. Among them was Eric Davis, a tall man with sharp features and a tense expression. Eric regarded John coolly, his gaze filled with suspicion and barely hidden resentment. "John, this is Eric," Zara introduced pleasantly. "He manages many of our core projects here." "Eric, this is John Carter. You will be working closely with me from now on." "Pleasure," Eric said tersely, extending a stiff handshake. "Likewise," John replied politely, sensing tension but choosing not to address it. "Eric has been invaluable," Zara continued warmly, "though he can be skeptical at first." Eric forced a thin smile. "Caution is necessary in our line of work." "Of course," John agreed easily, hoping to ease the tension. "I look forward to working with you." Zara moved on smoothly, guiding John away from Eric and further down the hall. "Eric is dedicated, but has reservations about humans. Please don't take his behavior personally." John nodded understandingly. "I can handle it." As the day progressed, Zara showed John several ongoing projects, each more fascinating than the last. John felt enthusiasm growing within him, eager to begin contributing. Zara explained patiently, ensuring he understood the intricacies involved. Finally, after many hours, they stopped at a quiet balcony overlooking the vast forest. The setting sun painted the sky with vibrant colors, creating a peaceful moment amidst a busy day. This is all incredible, John admitted, leaning against the railing and gazing thoughtfully into the distance. I never imagined I'd be part of something this important. Zara joined him, her eyes reflecting warmth and respect. You always had potential, John. You simply needed the right moment to realize it. John glanced at her, smiling gently. And here you are, providing that moment. Zara returned his smile warmly. Perhaps we're providing it for each other. John felt his heart flutter slightly at her words, sensing an unspoken bond strengthening between them. He turned back to the view, thoughtful. There's so much at stake. Are you sure I'm ready for it? This responsibility? Yes, Zara replied firmly, her voice gentle but unwavering. I've seen your courage and integrity. You have exactly what this requires. Feeling reassured, John took a deep breath and straightened, confidence growing within him. Then I'll give it my best. That's all I've ever asked, Zara said softly, placing a reassuring hand on his arm. They stood silently, watching the last rays of sunlight disappear beyond the horizon, each quietly aware that their lives were changing. Forever, the world they were building together was vast, filled with possibilities and challenges. Yet, standing side by side, they felt prepared for whatever would come next. As darkness gently surrounded them, Zara spoke quietly, her voice soft and filled with genuine warmth. Tomorrow, our real work begins. John nodded decisively, his gaze steady and determined. I'm ready. The rain poured down gently, tapping softly on the roof of John Carter's farmhouse. The sky was darkening, and thick clouds rolled slowly overhead. John sat in his favorite old chair, sipping hot tea as he watched the droplets run down the window pane. Life was quiet now, peaceful in a way he had always dreamed it could be. After years of adventure and turmoil, the tranquility was comforting. He lived on the outskirts of a small American town, surrounded by green fields and dense woods. It was a place that didn't ask much of him, only that he tended the land and kept the fences sturdy. John enjoyed the simple tasks that filled his days, repairing the barn, feeding the animals, or tending to his garden. There was nothing grand or exciting, but it was exactly what he wanted. As John took another slow sip from his cup, bright lights suddenly appeared at the end of his driveway. He squinted, trying to see through the rain. The lights belonged to an expensive car, sleek and shiny, unlike anything he usually saw around here. It stopped near his porch, and John's heart quickened slightly. Visitors were rare, especially at this hour and in weather like this. He stood up and moved closer to the window. The driver's side door opened slowly, and a woman stepped out. She wore an elegant coat, her movements graceful and sure, despite the rain and muddy ground. John could see the outline of her face through the window, and a strange sense of familiarity washed over him. He frowned, trying to place her. There was a quiet knock on the door, gentle but firm. John set down his tea and walked to the door, feeling a strange sense of anticipation building inside him. He opened it slowly, and for a moment he stood frozen, speechless. Hello, John, the woman said softly, a gentle smile appearing on her lips. It was Zara, the alien girl he had freed. Years ago, he had almost forgotten how unique she looked. Her eyes were large and bright, filled with kindness, and her skin had a faint luminescent glow, subtle yet noticeable even now. Time had transformed her into someone confident and poised, yet beneath that elegance was the same warmth he had known. Zara, John whispered, hardly believing she stood there in front of him. Is it really you? It's been a long time, Zara replied softly, her smile widening. May I come in? John blinked and stepped back quickly, holding the door open. Of course, please. Come in out of the rain. She stepped inside, and John closed the door quietly behind her. Zara looked around the small room, her eyes taking in the cozy furniture, the family photos on the walls, and the simple warmth of the place. You have a beautiful home, she said gently, turning to face him again. It suits you. Thank you, John replied, feeling suddenly shy. He gestured toward the sitting area, Please, have a seat. Can I get you something warm to drink? That would be lovely, Zara answered, removing her wet coat and sitting gracefully on the sofa. John quickly prepared another cup of tea, his mind spinning. Zara was here. After so many years, the alien girl he had helped escape captivity was sitting in his living room, calmly waiting for tea. It seemed impossible, yet it felt surprisingly natural. He returned with the tea, handing her the cup before settling down across from her. Zara took a sip, smiling softly. Delicious, she complimented, holding the warm cup with delicate fingers. I'm glad you like it, John responded. He hesitated, unsure of how to begin. I never thought I'd see you again. Zara's eyes sparkled with gentle humor. I often thought of returning, but there was always something else to do. Another goal to reach. John leaned forward, intrigued. Tell me, Zara, where have you been all this time? What happened after you left? She smiled, thoughtful for a moment before speaking. After you helped me escape, I returned home. I found my family, and they welcomed me back with open arms. But I wanted more than just to be home again. I wanted to use everything I'd learned. Here on Earth. And did you? John asked eagerly. Yes, Zara said, her eyes shining with pride. I started businesses, built alliances, and found ways to blend human and alien technology. Over time, my efforts grew successful beyond my wildest dreams. That sounds amazing, John said sincerely, genuinely impressed. You became a tycoon? Zara nodded modestly. I suppose you could call me that. My journey was challenging but rewarding. Through it all, I never forgot your kindness. John smiled warmly. I'm happy to see you've done so well. But why come back now? Zara took another slow sip of tea before answering. To thank you properly, and perhaps to offer you something more. Something more? John echoed, curious. She placed her cup down gently, leaning forward slightly. Yes, an opportunity. To join me. To help me bridge our two worlds even further. John was silent, stunned by the offer. His peaceful life suddenly felt small compared to the grand vision Zara presented. Part of him was nervous, unsure of leaving the comfort he had finally found. Yet another part, deep inside, was eager for adventure again, especially if it meant working beside Zara. She watched him quietly, patiently waiting for his response. Finally, John met her gaze, feeling his heart quicken once again. All right, he said firmly. Tell me more? Zara smiled brilliantly, clearly pleased. Excellent. We have much to discuss. Outside, the rain continued to fall softly, washing away the past and paving the way for an entirely new chapter in their lives.